What's up, Thrashers, and welcome back once again to the Thrash Maniac 99 YouTube channel, and I am back with yet another video for you guys. And well, at the time you're seeing this video, I am currently not home. I am away on a beach trip for 2 weeks, but I figured while I'm gone, I'd have some videos for you guys to enjoy, and actually some, discussion pieces for you guys. So, yeah, no reviews during my time away, so I'm gonna end up missing out on quite a few albums. But regardless, I wanted to do some videos for you guys, like I said, to kind of help keep the content going, but also get you guys to discuss or even respond in video form. So the first video I'm doing with this whole thing, and since today, the day of this video coming out, is Halloween, which, to everybody, happy Halloween. I hope you guys are having a good spooky season. I figured I'd do a video talking about 10 metal albums perfect for Halloween. And because, to me, metal and Halloween go together like mashed potatoes and steak. Steak and potatoes kind of thing. Because after all, metal at times is very, very spooky, and I feel metal is the appropriate soundtrack for spooky season. So, I have 10 albums here that, in my opinion, perfectly encapsulate Halloween for different reasons, or they're just spooky albums in general. The first album I'm going to talk about is Emperors in the Nightside Eclipse. After all, this is arguably the greatest Norwegian black metal album of all time, and arguably to some, the best black metal album of all time. I don't know, it's kind of neck and neck between this, Battery Under the Sign of the Black Mark, and Dark Throne by Blazing the Northern Sky for that title, but doesn't change the fact this album is an absolute masterpiece. But why I think it feels appropriate for Halloween is just the evil atmosphere of this album, particularly when you get those symphonic aspects through the mellotron, the keyboards, and whatever string samples they use to kind of really encompass that atmosphere, or emphasize on that atmosphere. It just creates a haunting, spooky mood behind all these songs. I mean, you start that right out of the way with Into the Infinity of Thoughts, with these, big, explosion ambient sounds, but then you even get gorgeous synth string openings towards the Pantheon, but you also get some fantastic riffs, like the opening riff of Beyond the Great Vast Forest. I Am the Black Wizards, I still think is one of the pivotal black metal songs of all time. Same with Inno Satana. Just unbelievable songs. Top to bottom, this is considered a masterpiece for a reason. But the reason I say it's perfect for Halloween is it just sounds spooky in general, as it just has all these haunting qualities that perfectly fits with Halloween. So definitely I would say Emperor in the Nightside Eclipse. Next up, Mortician, Hacked Up for Barbecue. So I figured it would be a disservice if I didn't include Mortician on this list, because, I mean, their whole catalog, it's 1/3 horror movie samples, 2/3 the most brutal, heavy riffs you'll ever hear. And because, horror movies typically go hand in hand with Halloween, figured why not pick a band that's horror movie based, and that's Mortician. Now, yeah, Mortician's pretty much a novelty band, but I love them for that reason. And I would say this album is the perfect Mortician album. I mean, tracks like Blood Craving, Brutally Mutilated, Cannibal Feast, Apocalyptic Devastation, the title track, Necro Cannibal, there's just the song Mortician. I mean, it's awesome songs, even if they're all mostly short, but still, Will Romer's vocals, I think, are a perfect recipe for Halloween, because he's got this low guttural kind of style to him, and of course that bass tone, probably one of the grisliest bass tones you will hear on any extreme metal album. And then of course the riff work by Roger is unbelievable on here. Yeah, it's drum machine oriented, but hey, I'll take it for what it is, because again, it's a novelty thing. But yeah, you can't have spooky season or Halloween, in my opinion, without Mortician. and Hacked Up for Barbecue, I think, is the best one to use. Next up, we have Ozzy Osbourne, Bark at the Moon. Again, rest in peace, Ozzy. We miss you so much already. But kind of a low-hanging fruit pick, I'll be honest, just because the song Bark at the Moon. But the vibes across the board on the album still kind of have like a haunting, spooky quality to it. I mean, tracks like Rock and Roll Rebel, Center of Eternity, Waiting for Darkness, like those all definitely fit into like a Halloween mood, whether it's in a partying sense, a ritualistic sense, or just in the vibe. Like it just, especially the song Bark at the Moon. I mean, about a werewolf. What's more Halloween than that? You know what I mean? But of course, the debut of Jakey Lee on guitar, and he puts on a hell of a performance on here. I'm trying to not go too full form on this album because of a certain announcement I'm going to make at the end of the year. But still, killer album, and definitely, I mean, look at that cover. That's definitely Halloween for you right there. So, yeah, Ozzy, Bark at the Moon. Next up, I went with Entombed, Left Hand Path. I mean, yeah, I talk about this album ad nauseum, but can you blame me? It's legit one of the greatest death metal albums of all time. And, I mean, I'd say it's perfect for Halloween because the atmosphere on this album definitely is very haunting, very dark, but also kind of a bit of low-hanging fruit because the title track has that score to Phantasm, which that movie's seen as like a big staple of spooky season. But yeah, really, aside from that, the whole album, in my opinion, is still very haunting. I mean, tracks like Drowned, Supposed to Rot, But Life Goes On, Bitter Loss, Premature Autopsy with those like pitch shift vocals to make it sound even more dark. But yeah, I mean, what more can I say about this album that hasn't been said already? Other than that it's the perfect Swedish death metal album, the best album to use the HM two-tone, the album that spawned Swedish death metal as a whole, and has gone on to inspire countless bands, and of course, the haunting atmosphere is a big part of it. Next up, kind of low-hanging fruit. I'll be honest, like the majority of the rest of these albums is kind of low-hanging fruit, but again, you can't do these kind of lists without these albums. I went with Helloween's Keeper of the Seven Keys Part 1. I mean, again, I say it's low-hanging fruit because of the song Halloween, which in my opinion is still one of the greatest metal songs of the 80s, but even aside from that, it's all about like having a good time with Halloween is how I pick up on the vibe of not only that song, but the entire album's all about having fun, but jamming out and getting heavy and fast and melodic. I mean, Future World, Twilight of the Gods, Follow the Sign. There's just unbelievable songs on here. And yeah, for a power metal album, it's definitely got like a spooky vibe, but it's more of like a fun spooky as opposed to a dark spooky. I mean, hell, look at the band photo with the freaking pumpkin. So what's more Halloween than that? You know what I mean? But yeah, especially for the song Halloween, it's like an anthem for this time of the year. So yeah, if you haven't jammed this album in a while, I'd say give it another shot. It's excellent. Alright, and then the next two are definitely low-hanging fruit. We have Merciful Fate, Don't Break the Oath. I mean, again, you can't do Halloween without King Diamond as a whole. But I mean, this album for Merciful Fate, I would say, is an appropriate spooky season Halloween album. Again, the vibe, the atmosphere, the lyrics, all definitely fit this time of the year. I mean, tracks like Nightmare, Night of the Unborn, The Oath, Come to the Sabbath, Gypsy. It's a perfect album, in my opinion, not only musically, but also in the sense of this is a great Halloween album because you could legit freak people out with this album, especially when you get to those classic... Wow. I was going to try to do my best King Diamond falsetto before that happened. Actually, let me try again. Yeah! I am so sorry you had to hear that. But anyways, I mean, you could freak people out just out of the blue just by having that voice come through. But I mean, yeah, this is an awesome album. And, well, since we're on the subject of King Diamond, we have King Diamond Abigail. Again, low-hanging fruit. But still, you can't have Halloween without King Diamond, no matter what people say. Especially Thralls of Battle. Love you guys, but you're wrong about King Diamond. Except for Joe, he's smart. But anyways, but yeah, this album, it's fantastic. I mean, again, trying to not go full in depth about this album because of an announcement I'm going to make later this year. But I'll just say, it's brilliant. Especially the song Abigail, Black Horseman, The Family Ghost. I mean, come on. It's King Diamond. King Diamond is Halloween. Halloween is King Diamond. Enough said. Alright, we got a few more left. Next up, kind of a personal pick for me, but then again, you could almost pick any album from this band and it would be appropriate. I went with Hell Awaits by Slayer. Because this is my personal favorite Slayer album, even more so than Rain and Blood. But also, this is the most evil Slayer album of all time, and arguably the most brutal Slayer album of all time. Well, it's definitely between it and Rain and Blood, but still. And it's arguably their most progressive album to a degree because of the longer songs, the more dynamic songwriting going on here. But definitely the vibes, the atmosphere, the tones are definitely Halloween worthy. I mean, especially with the opening title track, that backwards messaging saying "Join us." It's evil, it's haunting, it's spooky, and then of course the rest of the album definitely stays in that realm. I mean, Kill Again, Praise of Death, Crypts of Eternity, just unbelievable songs. I feel like this album needs more appreciation from longtime Slayer fans because I feel it's like, I mean, again, I'm not discrediting Rain and Blood. I'm just saying Hell Awaits, I think, if it wasn't for Hell Awaits, you wouldn't have had a Rain and Blood. But yeah, this is a killer album and definitely worth listening to for Halloween. The penultimate album, and this one is going to be an interesting one, and that is Hooded Menace, Never Crossed the Dead. I could have went with literally any Hooded Menace album, but I decided to go with what I would say is still probably their best and their heaviest for sure, Never Crossed the Dead. Especially when you look at the album cover, you can definitely tell this band loves the Spanish horror franchise, The Blind Dead, and even other horror movies, and they like to use that as sort of an inspiration for the lyrics, for the look of the band, for the aesthetic of the band, especially on this album. I mean, when you start off with your longest track, the title track, and it's definitely taking inspiration from Tomb of the Blind Dead, you know you're in for a treat when it comes to like a Halloween type album. But across the board, this album's fantastic. Terror Castle, Night of the Death Cult, Rituals of Mortal Cremation, From Their Confined Slumber. Hell, even the closer, they do a cover of the theme song from Return of the Evil Dead, and it's awesome, and that's definitely like a Halloween thing for sure. But yeah, I would say of any Hooded Menace album to listen to for Halloween, I would recommend this one. But again, you can't go wrong with any Hooded Menace album for this time of the year, so there you have it, ladies and gents. And then finally, probably the most predictable one to show up on the list, but hey, again, you can't do Halloween without this band, and that is, of course, Typo Negative, and I went with October Rust. Considering spooky season's always the month of October, and this album being called October Rust, it just fits perfectly. But even with that said, I mean, the album itself is still a masterwork of gothic metal, doom metal, but much more lush and lavish sounding. I mean, Love You to Death. Of course, in my opinion, the best sexy metal song of all time is Be My Druidess, but also Red Water, Christmas Morning, My Girlfriend's Girlfriend, In Praise of Bacchus, Wolf Moon. I mean, just all these songs just have that like haunting, spooky yet romantic and still humorous lyrics, but still also very, very, very dark. So, I mean, again, if you want to know my full opinion about this album, go back and watch my Typo Negative ranking. I go much more in depth there. But yeah, unbelievable album, and you can't do Halloween without it. Well, that does it for this list of 10 metal albums perfect for Halloween. Because, I mean, and again, there's a lot of metal albums that you could definitely listen to for Halloween. That definitely fits the spooky season time. But I'm curious to hear from you guys. Send me your list or make your own video. If you want to make your own video, be sure to tag me in it so that way I can see it for myself. But what are 10 metal albums you like to listen to for Halloween? Let me know. But thank you all so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. But until next time, thank you for watching. Keep your horns high and your dreams wet.